Aloha my kako and welcome back to another book review. I am Mama Kitty and today we are going to be reviewing Starlets by Lee Kelly and Jennifer Marie Thorne. This is another arc which I got off of NetGalley in the form of an audiobook in exchange for an honest review. Again, for those of you who are new here or you just need a little bit of a reminder, ARC stands for Advanced Reader Copy, and just like I said, I receive a free version of the usually an unedited copy of the book in exchange for an honest review. Kelly and Thorne both seem to have very extensive writing backgrounds. They have also actually co-written something before called The Antiquity Affair. And even though I was listening to Starlets as an audiobook, their experience in writing really came through really easily, and I was really impressed with just their qualifications. Okay, so getting right into it, the Goodreads review is as follows, though please be aware it is a little long, so bear with me, but here we go. Real life is turning out to be stranger than a script for the silver screen. Vivian Rhodes thinks she's finally landed her break, playing Helen in Apex Pictures' big-budget Troy epic, A Thousand Ships, an anticipated blockbuster meant to resurrect the failing studio. Naturally, she's devastated when she arrives to the remote Italian island of Tavali to find herself cast as Cassandra, while her nemesis, the fiancé-stealing Lottie Lawrence, America's supposed sweetheart, is headlining instead. The tension on set, though, turns deadly when the ladies discover that members of the crew are using the production as a front for something decidedly illegal, and that they are willing to kill to keep their dealings under wraps. When the two women find themselves on the run and holding key evidence, Vivian and Lottie frantically agree to work together to deliver the proof to Interpol, hoping to protect their lives and their careers. Staying one step ahead of corrupt cops and looming mobsters, the ARC rivals flee across the seas. Their journey leads them into Monaco's casinos, Grace Kelly's palace, on a road trip through the Alps, even into another film set, before a final showdown on Tavali, where the lives of the entire cast and crew hang in the balance. Vivian and Lottie finally have the chance to be real heroines, to save the day, the film, maybe even each other, but only if they can first figure out how to share the spotlight. Okay, so to start, I really liked this book. And I mean, honestly, based on the synopsis, I think a lot of people would like this book. I liked the story, I liked the pacing, I liked the characters. There was really nothing I didn't like. The audiobook was also sort of dramatized, which I really adored, and it's something I probably would emphasize when suggesting this to friends. Although I'm sure that if there is a hard copy, the hard copy reads just as well. Gosh, where to start? Vivian and Lottie, I guess. I mean, they just were really beautiful together. Speaking of Vivian, I do seem to be running into a lot of books recently where the main character is like super unlikable at first. And Vivian was that character, right? I loved her to death, but she was so annoying. I loved to hate her is basically what that started out with. On the other hand, Lottie was kind of the complete opposite. There wasn't really anything not to like, if that makes any sense, which I think could really be annoying in its own way depending on how you feel about people like that. But just the clear message of we're supposed to like this person and not this person was there and evident and easy to lean into. Their arc from enemies to besties was really lovely, though I do admit there were several points within the story where I wanted them to fall madly in love with each other. Alas, this was not that kind of story, although there was a little bit of fruitiness going on in the background. Details not to be disclosed. I also really liked that Vivian's unlikableness came from a really, like, huge misunderstanding on her part that doesn't get resolved until, like, halfway, more than halfway through the book. And she was so fragile and hurt, and she couldn't communicate with freaking anybody, and it was just a lot of fun to watch as she really wanted to make these connections and she couldn't figure out how to get the words out of her mouth, and it was a lot, and she was great, and poor baby is all I have to say. Lottie, on the other hand, was good at all of these things, and she could communicate, and she could get people to like her, and she was just a star, right? And that was the whole point, right? Is that in comparison to Vivian, she was this people person, but at the same time, she really pushed back against some of Vivian's tendencies and was really able to pull Vivian out of her shell. And it was just really nice as the story progressed to see these two very different personalities become even more different and alike at the same time, if that makes any sense. The pacing was superb. I always felt like we were moving somewhere that didn't really. There wasn't a lot of filler, I guess is what I mean to say. Every single scene felt important and felt like it was furthering along the plot or the character development or whatever. It was just there was no dry bits for me. I thought the whole concept of the book was kind of brilliant. Wasn't really like anything I'd ever read before. On a slightly separate note, like I feel like I'm starting to fall in love with historical fiction, which isn't really something that I've really dived into too much as I've grown and expanded as a reader. But it was just, I really adored that this was just about two badass women who were trying to become stars in their respective fields, stars that probably the world wasn't quite ready for yet. And then because of the bad guys, they have to go on the run, and then they have to run for their lives. And not only could they lose their careers, but their livelihood, and it was just raw. But of course, now that I say that out loud, it feels like every two heroine story ever. But I feel like Kelly and Thorne just do a really amazing job at making it unique and fun and interesting, and I just really can't not gush about it. I'm not gonna lie though, I do think that part of the goodness of the story was the quality of the audiobook. It really, really was very well done. And I feel like because I listened to it as an audiobook, I should talk about that a little bit. I feel like the narrator was kind of superb, right? It was a woman throughout the whole thing, and I feel like I should know her name. Give me 2 seconds. Gail Shallan was her name. Shallan? I'm not really sure how to pronounce her last name. I'm so sorry. But she was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it was just her throughout the entirety of the novel. So she went up and down, and for the different genders and the different voices and all the things that you would expect any good not book reviewer, book narrator to do. But she just did it really, really well, and I was really happy and impressed with kind of how much work probably went into this. And I would really love to thank whatever director was directing that, because it was mwah. To wrap this up, because again, I have nothing but good things to say about it, I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5 stars. I would recommend this to kind of literally anybody who likes fiction, historical fiction in particular. I really would probably shove this into people's hands and beg them to read it, is kind of where I am with it. I definitely think I will be trying to get some kind of trophy copy of it when it comes out, either in audiobook or hard copy form. I don't know if there's going to be a hard copy form. Maybe that would be great. I would love one. Anyway, that's the review for that. The next pick we will be reviewing is called Le Normal. It's French, and I do not speak French at all. So once we get into that particular review, I apologize in advance. It is written by Janine Jansen and S.L. Sabado. And it is a webtoon turned graphic novel, and it's super duper gay. I'm super excited about it. I received it from HarperCollins Publishers, though I'm sure I'm not the only one who got it via email, but I'm super stoked to share it with you guys. It's beautiful. I've already read it, and I have the review written up. I just got to do it now. And make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the little notifications so that you know when that review comes out. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about Starlets. I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope that I have inspired some of you to read it as well, or listen to it even better. And if not, that's fine too. Until next time, I hope you all have a lovely holiday season. I hope you get lots and lots of books to read. Thank you for listening, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!